Hey guys, Brady here. We've seen some weird crossover stuff on here. We've seen Mr. Peabody, done by DreamWorks Studios. We've seen Scott Pilgrim, the graphic novel series, made into a movie, done by Universal. And we've seen probably the most ambitious cartoon crossover to date, Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion, done by Crave Studios. But back onto the topic. What can you say about the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy? A true Cartoon Network staple of Cartoon Network humor. If you grew up in the mid-2000s, chances are you were watching one of 3 or 4 shows. Chowder, Ben 10, Ultimate Alien, The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, or The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I watched some of this stuff, and there's definitely a lot of heart put into this cartoon. So many memorable moments, like the "destroy us all" moment. The clans are nothing but ultimate evil, and all that jazz. And there's so many memorable characters, like Billy, Mandy, Grim, among others. However, someone at Midway Incorporated, Midway, the game company, responsible for hits like Toobin', Tapper, Timber, Spy Hunter, Defender, Robotron, and Rampage, and Joust as well. Somehow, Midway Incorporated thought this series would transfer well into the realm of gaming. And then, we had this gem for the Nintendo Wii. This game is appropriately titled The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. But what you don't know about it is that it is actually a 3D fighting game. I am dead serious. There was a time when The Grim Adventures was so popular and so weird and amazing that it actually got its own video game. And truth be told, there's been some stuff, with like Ben 10, he had video games too. Chowder has never had his own solo game, nor has Flapjack, nor has Dexter. That's for Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion. But this game is actually a gem, if you don't know that. Anyone who has... So this game came out in... It came out in 2006. 2006 is not a good time to be a gamer with games like Sonic 06. But this game is actually much funner than you think it is. It came out on the PlayStation 2, GameCube, original Xbox, and Wii. That's right. I have the Wii version, obviously, since the Wii is literally back there. Yeah. So, what makes this game stand from above the rest of the other 3D fighting games? Like Shrek Super Slam. Shrek Super Slam is a 3D fighter. This is a 3D fighter as well. Done by Midway Studios. Like I said, they made stuff like Tapper, Rampage, Joust, Spy Hunter, Gauntlet, classic arcade jams that you may remember. But this game is actually much funner than you actually think it is. Woo, man. So what makes this game stand out from the rest of the fighting games on the Nintendo Wii and GameCube, PS2, and Xbox? We're going to talk about it. So, like I said, this game came out in 2006. starring such classic characters like Billy, Mandy, Grim, and Irwin. Yeah, who remembers Irwin? Everybody, of course, because he was one of the main characters. So, the characters in this game, we have Billy, Mandy, not being a one character like in Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion, like the Ice Climbers. They're actually two separate characters, thank God, which makes them honestly two of the greatest characters in this game. You have Grim, of course, you have Irwin, but then you have some more obscure characters like Billy's dad. That's right, Billy's dad is playable in this game. Eris, the goddess of chaos. Typical. Nurgle, Billy's uncle. Fred, that mysterious monster who never showed up in the show. Fredburger. That's his full name, by the way. Haas Delgado is a playable character in this game, obviously. If you have a Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy game, you have to include Haas Delgado. He was also in Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion as a playable fighter. Dracula is playable. Jack-o'-lantern, that one guy from that one episode. Right here is Nurgle Jr., but he's just called Junior in the show. The Boogeyman is playable as well. Some obscure characters you probably never heard of, like Lord Pain and General Scar. Those are all of the main playable characters in this game. I replayed this game, I believe last night or 2 nights ago. I can't remember. But this game is way too fun to be considered bad. It's not a bad game by any means. The only bad thing about it is the polygons are so cheap. The models are so bad. It makes you think that it's a PlayStation game. PlayStation 1. But aside from the bad polygons, there is so much that you can do in this game. Of course, there's classic mode, or as it's called, story mode in the game. There's event mode, of course. There's options, there's extras, character bios, cutscenes, fully fledged cutscenes using somewhat of in-game models, but not too much. And a ton, and I mean a ton, of battle modes. There's of course free-for-all, stock matches, and then there's coin battles. But then you have stuff like Baskai Ball and Tag, a game of tag, Crush the Horde, Capture the Flag, Break Things. That's a mode that's in this game. It's called Break Things. Skull Keeper. So many game modes. And King of the Sight. That's a useless game mode, by the way. But yeah, there's also super moves. Just want to let you know that. But yeah, this game honestly shaped my childhood. Believe me. It's truly an amazing game to play with friends, even if you don't have a Nintendo Wii. You could buy that game for pretty cheap on any website. GameCube or PS2. You don't have to buy it on the Wii like I did. You could buy it on the GameCube and the PS2, where I believe it's much better. So how do you play? You'll have to figure that out for yourself. But there's also this thing called finishing moves. Where it's like Mortal Kombat. You gotta finish him in a very neat little cinematic style. Each character has their own little finisher, tailored to their sort of weapon. And yes, there are weapons for these characters. Billy has the Warhammer. Mandy just uses karate, obviously, because she's the master of all civilians in the show. Grim obviously uses the scythe. Irwin uses a gigantic book. Billy's dad, who's apparently named Mogar for some reason, I think that's his actual name, I don't know, who uses power chords because he's an unemployed rocker, so there's that. Eris uses the Chaos Apple, which I don't think she's ever used. Nurgle uses his electric tentacles. Fred uses a frying pan. Haas uses his Swiss Army hand. Dracula uses some sort of a cane. Jack uses his bag of tricks, like Felix the cat. Nurgle Jr. is the same thing as Nurgle. He uses his, electro tentacles. The Boogeyman uses his claws. General Scar uses a fencing sword. And Lord Payne uses his shield and mace. That is all the weapons that the characters can use in this game. And yes, there's items as well, like projectile stuff. And swords and maces and whatnot. Just to keep the game interesting. So, there's also these things called Mojo Balls, which if you pick them up, they'll fill your meter, your super meter. If you fill up your super meter once, you get the Mojo combo, which is like until the character explodes. And yes, there's exploding in this game, and a lot of it. And if you fill your meter all the way up, you get something called not a Final Smash, not a Punch Time Explosion, but a Mojo Meltdown. Each character has their own unique Mojo Meltdown, and some of them can be pretty hilarious, actually. Like Fred's Mojo Meltdown is literally him eating nachos until a big bucket of nachos falls out of the sky. Then Billy, he just uses an atomic fart. That's just Billy being Billy. And then there's Mandy's Mojo Meltdown, where she smiles at the characters and she's like, "Don't smile!" And yeah, that's literally it. So in the end, what makes this game a hidden gem? It's a fighting game. Of course it's a hidden gem. Like Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness? That's a game I didn't know was a hidden gem. The thing is reflecting, but that's fine. So I can obviously recommend The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the fighting game. That's a long title for some reason. I like to add the fighting game in with the mix too. For Wii, GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. If you guys want me to review more hidden gems, let me know down in the comments. I don't know what my next video is going to be, but it's going to be something different. Something truly special. If I come up with an idea, I'll do it on the channel. Anyways, sayonara, peeps. Take care.